Welcome back to the official Sports Corner podcast. I'm Chris Frable here with Kyle Harstead. How's it going this time around, Kyle?
Not too bad.
All right, good. Hey, we're going to break down the Midwest region here. This one, just a little interesting here. Just a little bit interesting.
Yeah, this is a tough region. I'm upset at the selection committee here.
Yeah, explain why you're upset.
I feel like they look down upon Wichita State and their number one seed.
Okay.
I felt like I don't know if it turned out this way or it just happened to turn out this way, but I almost feel like because Wichita State didn't play anybody, because they didn't play very tough teams, or they played in a very weak conference, I feel like the selection committee kind of put some tough teams in their conference or in their region to test them a little bit. To me, it's such a I hate to see 3 out of last year's 4 Final Four teams in this region.
Right.
And I hate to see a number one team have to go through that, because you're a number one seed for a reason. You deserve that number one seed, and for you to have to go through what Wichita State has to go through here, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, you look down the names here. Some of the highlight names: Kentucky, St. Louis, Louisville, Duke, Texas, Arizona State, Michigan. All these teams, if they make it through and have to play against Wichita State, are going to be tough opponents.
Louisville, who we're going to talk about a little bit next, here soon here, number 4 seed, I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. So, all right, let's go down here. And again, we're not going to take too much time on these wash games, especially if they're a playing game.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. So this for the first game, I think I speak for both of us when I say Wichita State's going to make it through. Whoever wins, Cal Poly and Texas Southern. Next game is something we do have to talk about a little bit, though. Kentucky versus Kansas State. Who do you have and why?
Kentucky, and they're coming from the SEC. They just survived. Well, they didn't survive that game, but they only lost by 1.
Right.
Which was impressive compared to how they lost to Florida earlier.
Right.
And John Calipari, he is a great coach.
Yep. One of the best.
One of the best coaches in the game. I think he knows how to win. He's going to take Kentucky past Kansas State, even though Kansas State is a very good team. They have wins against Kansas, Texas, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. So I'm not saying I'm not saying Kentucky as in 5 or 6 point game. I'm saying Kentucky as in 2 or 3 point game.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I agree. I give Kentucky the edge, and it is based purely on the fact that they played the SEC. That might be a little reckless of me. But again, Kansas State, a great basketball team, but I just don't think that they have the power here to get past this Kentucky team. You think about Julius Randle in the center. Now, again, Florida did a great job shutting him down in the SEC championship game, but overall, Randle is one of the best players in his position in the entire league.
I love Julius Randle.
Julius Randle's a great player, and I think he's going to definitely be a difference down the road here in the NCAA tournament. So I also have Kentucky going on. Again, St. Louis, they're going to be playing a play-in team, so I'm going to give them the win here. However, we have to keep in mind who their play-in game is. It's against the winner of NC State and Xavier, which could be a very tough game for them.
If NC State wins that game, which I'm predicting they're going to, don't sleep on NC State.
Absolutely not. TJ Warren is ridiculous.
He was the leading scorer and ACC Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, St. Louis is a good team, and I like the Billikens, but if NC State wins that game, I look for them to put up a pretty good fight against St. Louis, if not win that game.
Yeah, and again, that's why I wanted to retract me saying just pushing them through, the Billikens right through, is because, like you said, if North Carolina State gets through. Now, Xavier's a good team too,
right?
But North Carolina State, if they get through that play-in game and they play St. Louis, they match up very well against that Billikens team, and I really think that they have the power to upset the St. Louis. I really do.
Yep.
So we'll see. I got to favor St. Louis in whatever matchup, but North Carolina State could make it interesting. This next one, we do have to talk about just particularly Louisville in this matchup. 4 seed Louisville Cardinals versus the 13 seed Manhattan. I don't think it's any mystery that we have Louisville moving on in this matchup. Now, Manhattan's a good basketball team. Let's not take that away from them. But Rick Pitino's squad year after year has been good. They're the defending national champions. Let's not forget that either. Again, I got Louisville in this one. But let's talk about that 4 seed that they got.
I still think, if not a 2 seed, they were no worse than a 3. They came out of the American Conference. They won that tournament.
Okay.
They have teams like UConn in there. You know, I just think Louisville is a good team, and a 4 seed I think was a slap in the face to them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I can't help but wonder. Now you have to remember that these are men in this selection, men and women in this selection committee, making the decisions about where these teams go. Okay. These guys have biases. These guys have feelings that get hurt, and I think I wouldn't put it past the selection committee to do this to Louisville based purely on the fact that Rick Pitino said they deserved a 1 seed and that they were going to get a 1 seed. I think he might have slightly insulted this selection committee.
I wouldn't have been okay with the 1 seed.
I wouldn't have been either. But the insult of saying we're a 1 seed and that's that, you know what I mean, might have thrown a little bit of water in the face of the selection.
Still bothers me. You can't take that stuff to heart.
No, you can't.
And let it make your decisions for you. Yeah, they have losses to North Carolina, tournament team, a good team. Kentucky, tournament team, a good team. Memphis, tournament team, and they're still a decent, good team. Cincinnati, very good tournament team. They also have a win against Cincinnati. They also have a win against, in my opinion, snubbed SMU.
Yeah.
And then a win against UConn, 2 wins against UConn, and 1 for the title. I still think they should have been a 3 seed.
Yeah, I do think Louisville got a little bit of a shaft here, definitely. A 4 seed is not what they deserved. I would have guessed 2 or 3 seed, personally.
Their 5 losses were all against ranked opponents.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to look at that, too. Again, I don't know what the selection committee was thinking there either, but that's that. I do pick Louisville to go past Manhattan, though. That is one good thing about them, though, is that at this 4 seed, they're going to knock out a couple of real good opponents here early.
It's going to make for a good third-round game.
It absolutely will. So we'll see what happens there. Next game, Massachusetts versus the play-in of, I believe it's Iowa and Tennessee. Now, I'm going to go against the grain here and actually say the winner of this game is going to be either Iowa or Tennessee. I have to go here and say this.
I agree with you to a point. I like Massachusetts, and I like the teams that they play. Iowa and Tennessee, like you said, Iowa's coming out of the Big Ten. Tennessee is coming out of the SEC, 2 powerhouse conferences. But I like Massachusetts and their play style. I'm going to go with the higher seed here and pick Massachusetts.
See, here's where we differ a little bit. I think that if Massachusetts plays against Iowa, they have a better chance of winning, only because Iowa has fizzled out this season rather than streak into the postseason. That's why I think that if they play Massachusetts and Iowa, it's going to be Massachusetts that moves on. But I'm going to say Tennessee, if they play the Volunteers, Tennessee's a dangerous team coming out of that SEC conference. They played a tough game against Florida. That definitely you don't want to sleep on either team, any of the teams. Massachusetts could move on. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is final at all by any means. But I've seen the Volunteers play. I've seen the Hawkeyes play. I've seen Massachusetts play. And I got to tell you, if the Volunteers win that play-in game, they're going to be a dangerous team for that Massachusetts squad.
It'll be a good game.
It will be. Regardless of what happens, it'll be a good game. Next game, Duke
on upset alert.
I'll put him on upset alert,
I'm putting him on upset alert.
Mercer's a good squad, and Duke has had a history lately of being upset in the first round.
The thing I like about Mercer is, I've just been researching them a little bit. They have a lot of size underneath.
They do.
Something Duke doesn't really focus their time on. Because Duke historically is a 3-point shooting team.
Right.
They shoot a lot of threes, and they live and die by the 3-point line.
Yep.
And by Jabari Parker.
Well, yeah.
But
who wouldn't?
This is true. Jabari Parker is a very, very good player. On a little bit of upset alert, but I'm looking for Jabari Parker to take Duke to the next round.
All right, yeah, fair enough. I think so too. I gotta agree with you. Next game, Texas, Arizona State. This one's tough. This one is really tough for me. I'm gonna go Texas. Personally, just pick the higher seed on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to Texas too, even though Arizona State is coming out of the Pac-12, which is a tough conference.
It is. It's an extremely tough conference, but I mean, same thing with Texas. They're coming out of the Big 12. Again, very tough conference. Both of them are very good teams. I'm purely going for the safety factor by going with the higher seed here.
I like Texas here.
Yep. And then Michigan versus Wofford.
pick
Michigan. Yeah, if you pick Wofford in that one, that's a very, very heavy upset that you're going for.
Right.
All right, that wraps up our coverage of the Midwest section for the 2014 NCAA Tournament. We will be back in just a little bit with the coverage on the Eastern region, our final region in the 2014 NCAA Tournament, and we'll also wrap everything up in our next podcast. For Kyle Harstead, I'm Chris Fravel. This is the official Sports Corner podcast.